Her name is Saina. It's an old man, I think. Difficult to tell, since they're all kind of wrinkly. Do you know one of the 4 tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
Mine is the tale of sea, human.
Would you mind telling it to me?
I would be happy to do so. This is the tale of sea, told in my own words, as it was told to me by my teacher in his words, and to him by his teacher in his words. This was a very, very long time ago, when the Alatien were a strong people, and we could spend days riding the hot winds above the seas. We hunted fish then, and we were at war with the Merum, the wet-tails. Kallian was one of the strongest warriors there was. His claws were sharp and long, his beak pointy, and his teeth strong. Kallian was admired by everyone in his clan, and because of this he was cocky and arrogant. So one day, the teller of Kallian city asked him to perform a very important and very special duty, to bring a sacred jewel to the teller of an Alatien town across the sea. This particular jewel was very important because it signified a union between the 2 towns, and it would benefit the people of both that it was delivered safely and promptly. Kallian grinned and told the teller that he would deliver the jewel both quickly and safely, and that she was not to worry. But the teller did worry, because Kallian was young and too sure of himself. But she wanted to test him, and to teach him that sharp claws, a pointy beak, and strong teeth are not all a warrior needs, that a warrior must also be wise and careful. So Kallian set out across the sea on his flight. It was on the 4th day that he spotted something in the water that caught his attention, and forgetting his duty and following his curiosity, Kallian dived towards the water to investigate. When he came closer, he saw that there were Merum in the water, foolishly hunting close to the surface, and Kallian saw an opportunity to again prove his might as a great warrior to his people, and to capture the fins of a few wet-tails. But this time, Kallian's arrogance got the better of him, because the Merum had set a trap. As he dived towards the Merum with his claws, a spear shot up from the water to hit him. Kallian struck the water and dropped the jewel he was carrying, and it was all he could do not to drown. Kallian was bleeding, and the Merum were grabbing onto his wings and his legs, but he fought bravely, and finally he managed to escape. But even though he now lived, he was dead inside, because the shame of losing the sacred jewel would always be with him. Kallian could not return to his village, because he had neglected his duty to his teller and to his people, and so he went away to a small island where he could be alone. To himself and his people, Kallian now became the lost one, he who had been on a sacred mission but had failed in his arrogance. A year passed, And one day Akallis met with human traders from a ship that came close to his island. From the traders, Akallis heard speak of a hideous creature that lived in the sea, the Octowoe. The Octowoe was said to have a third eye, like a jewel, and that this eye pulled hapless sailors into its deadly eight-armed grasp. Akallis knew immediately that the Octowoe's third eye had to be the jewel that he lost in the sea a year ago, and he now saw the opportunity to redeem himself. But Alatien was not used to water, and the thought of submerging himself in the cold, harsh ocean chilled Akallis to his heart. But he was the lost one, and if in his death he could at the very least redeem himself, to his own heart then it would be worth it. So Akallis fashioned himself a spear, because in the water his claws and his beak would be too slow, and he flew out to where the Octowoe was last seen. And then Akallis dived into the sea. The dark water closed in on him, and his wings and legs went numb. But still Akallis kept pushing down until he saw the lair of the Octowoe. Spotting Akallis, the Octowoe attacked, and Akallis saw the monster's third eye, his sacred jewel, shining bright in the darkness, and his heart was filled with a sense of duty and courage that he had never felt before. But as he began fighting the eight-armed monster, Akallis realized that if he were to fight like he usually did, he would not stand a chance. He would have to think differently. And so Akallis tricked the Octowoe into following him through a tight chasm where the monster got stuck. And then he swam above it, and using his spear, tipped a rock on top of the Octowoe. Swimming back down again, the Octowoe was flailing helplessly. Now, almost out of air, Akallis took the sacred jewel from the Octowoe's head and swam back up. Finally, Akallis could deliver the sacred jewel to the town across the sea, and upon returning to his village, he went to the teller, bowed his head, and said, "Forgive me, teller, for in my arrogance I thought I could do everything. But I could not, and I became the lost one because of it." "You were lost," said the teller, "but you are no more. Because now you see the limits of your own strength, and you will know that a warrior must be careful and wise, in addition to being strong and fierce." This was the tale of sea, and I told it in my own words, as told to me by my teacher.
It's an old Alatien man. It's a leathery creature with wings, like a mix between a giant bat and a pterodactyl. It must be one of the Alatien. It looks more like a warrior than a storyteller, though. I hope it speaks English. I mean, Altung. Do you know one of the four tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
Mine is the tale of winds, Windbringer. Do you wish to hear it?
Very much.
Then I shall tell it. This is the tale of winds, my tale, and I pledge to tell it in my own words, as told in turn by my teacher. In the village of Karan, in the mountains of tall winds, there lived a young Alatien woman named Iwana. Iwana had one desire above all others, to soar higher and farther than anyone else. And even though her wings were no broader, nor her body sleeker than anyone else's, she pursued this foolish desire without rest. And as time passed, she did soar higher, and she did fly farther. than the other young Alatien in her village, and her name became known far and wide amongst the tribes of the mountains of tall winds. But still, Iwana was not happy. She was not happy because, in her vanity, even though she was a better flyer than almost everyone else, and to her eyes, she was still not good enough. She wanted to be so much better than anyone else that she would be remembered for all time as the best flyer amongst all the Alatien. And so one day, Iwana decided to climb to the top of Mount Bakta'ana, the Tower of Light, and to soar from those giddy heights to the ends of the world. Her friends and her family pleaded with her not to, because every Alatien knew that to soar from such heights was dangerous, that at such heights the air was thin and the winds treacherous. But Iwana would not listen, and on a cold and clear morning she climbed up the Tower of Light to the rock and the ice at the very top. From there she could see to the ends of the world. And it brought tears to her eyes to know that now, finally, she would be greater and better than any Alatien before her. And so Iwana spread her wings and leaped off the mountain. Those who watched her from far below said that for a split moment Iwana soared, and she soared higher and farther than any Alatien before or since. But then the treacherous winds caught a hold of her, and the thin air made her plummet towards the ground, and to fall to her death amongst the rocks at the base of the mountain. In her vanity, Iwana could not see beyond her desire to be the very best. And vanity always stands to fall. That was the tale of winds, my tale, and I told it in my own words, as told to me in turn by my teacher.
Thanks for your help. It's a young Alatien female working with clay.
Be careful, don't come too close. I'm almost done with this pot.
Sorry.
Are you here to buy pottery? I didn't think traders were allowed up here.
No, I came to speak with your teller.
Really? I didn't know the teller spoke with anyone from the outside. You must be a very special girl.
Supposedly. My name's April, by the way.
Nima is my name. Nima of Ta'ama, the only Alatien village on Alace.
I like your pottery.
It's our craft. That and storytelling. But storytelling can't buy merchandise or food.
I know a lot of people who live by telling stories, although I guess that's kind of different.
They are lucky then. Not that I don't enjoy making pottery. It's good to feel the wet clay between my claws, to shape it into whatever I wish. It's almost like creating a new life, I think. I don't have a husband yet, so I haven't tried. Have you? Do you have a husband and children?
Neither, thank God. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
I was 18 turnings this spring. I'm ready for a husband, but I've yet to court anyone who could make me soar on the winds. I think the men of Ta'ama are dull and timid.
What about the guard on the road below the village? He's our age, isn't he?
Isom? He's quite pretty, and his wings are big, but I don't think he likes me. He never looks at me or talks to me.
That doesn't mean anything. He could just be shy.
Maybe you could talk to him, find out who he likes, but don't say I sent you.
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you, April.
Do you know one of the 4 tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
I had to learn the tale of homecoming. It took a long time, but I think I got it now. I'm better with pottery than I am with the tales, unfortunately. Do you want to hear it?
Please.
Very well. This is the tale of homecoming, my tale, and I shall tell it in my own words, as told to me by my teacher, in her words, and by her teacher in turn. Moran was a handsome young Alatien man with strong wings and a hardy beak. He lived below the white cliffs, where the water was salty and the fish plentiful. Moran was betrothed to Inara, the loveliest girl there ever was. She was fair and slender and tall, and her eyes were the clearest shade of blue. But Moran was hesitant to enter into union with Inara, to become her husband and to give her children. He would always come up with a new excuse for why they had to wait a little while longer. Now, Inara was skilled at pottery, but even more so with stories, and the teller of the village had many times asked Inara to be her apprentice, to learn all the tales, so that someday she could take over as the teller. But Inara refused, knowing that if she did accept the teller's offer, she would never be able to marry Moran, because a teller cannot have a husband nor children of her own. Her refusal to become the teller's apprentice was unheard of, because who could refuse such an honor? But to Inara, love was more important. Her love for Moran was beyond honor, beyond reason. But despite Inara's love, Moran was still hesitant. And then one day he told Inara, "I am traveling on a pilgrimage to the far shores. I will be gone for some time, and while I am traveling, and in accordance with our traditions, I will be freed from our betrothal. Not until I come back will the bond between us be renewed." It was not unusual for a young Alatien man at that time to go on a pilgrimage, and the bond between the betrothed would often be cut while he was away, to be formed again upon his return. But Inara was heartbroken, because she had thought that Moran would soon want to marry her. When Moran saw her tears, he said to her, "Do not weep. When I come back, I promise I will marry you. Just wait for me, and stay with your pots, to make the time pass quickly." And then Moran left on his pilgrimage to the far shores. Many years went by, and Moran had exciting adventures on the far shores. But by and by, he began to long for home, and for Inara, and now he had finally realized that he loved her, and that he wanted to marry her. But when he returned, he could not find Inara amongst the pot makers. He went to visit her family, and they told him that, after waiting for many years, Inara accepted the teller's offer of apprenticeship. And that when the teller left on the last wind during the previous winter, Inara herself became the new teller. Angry, Moran made his way to the teller's nest, and when he saw Inara, he said to her, "You promised me you would wait." But Inara did not say a single word in answer. she just turned around and lifted something wrapped in leaves from the cot behind her and gave it to Moran. Moran unwrapped the package, and inside he found an old pot, cracked and broken in two. "What is this pot?" he asked. "And why did you not wait for me like I asked you to?" And finally Inara spoke, and she said to Moran, "I made this pot for you, my dear Moran, when you left, because I wanted it to be my marriage gift to you. But when many, many years passed, I finally realized that you did not love me the way I loved you, and to live hoping otherwise would be death." "But I want to marry you," cried Moran. "I came back." But Inara just nodded at the broken pot in Moran's hands and said, "Like an old pot that is left without care, a heart may break in two, and a broken heart can never be mended." And so Inara turned away, never to speak with Moran again, and Moran's heart, like the pot that was left untended, broke in two, because absence makes a heart brittle. This was the tale of homecoming, my tale, and I told it in my own words as told to me by my teacher, and as I will tell it to my student when the time comes.
Thank you, Nima.
You're welcome, April.
So, Isam, that's your name, isn't it?
Yes, Isam of Tamar.
A good-looking guy like you must get a lot of attention from the girls, right?
Are you asking me for courtship?
Me? No. Wings don't do anything for me. No, I was just thinking, maybe you had your eye out for somebody special?
I'm without a mate. The women of Tamar are cold and unfriendly, and whenever I try to talk to one of them, she ignores me.
Huh. Even Nima?
Nima? No, she's too pretty for me. She won't appreciate my attention.
This is like high school. Trust me, Isam. You go talk to her one of these days, and I'm sure you'll find you have a lot in common. Just be yourself, okay?
You think so? Perhaps you are right. I will do as you say, Windbringer. Thank you.
Thanks for your help. Hi, Nima.
Hi, April.
Bye, Nima.
Goodbye, April.
Hi, Saina.
Hi, April.
Bye-bye, Saina.
Goodbye.
Halt! Who would visit the teller? Are you ready for the questions now?
Yes, ask me the questions.
In the Tale of Winds, which mountain did Iwana fall from in her vain attempt to fly higher and further than anyone else.
Mount Ana, the Tower of Light.
That is correct. In the Tale of Stars, what did Mona see in the sky that helped her find her way home?
The spirits of 5 tellers.
That is correct. In the Tale of Sea, what creature did the Lost One battle in his quest to recover the sacred jewel?
The Octavo?
That is correct. My final question to you is this. In the Tale of Homecoming, what was given to Moran by his teller when he returned from his pilgrimage?
A broken pot, to teach him that absence may break a heart in two.
You have correctly answered all my questions, and so have proven your knowledge of the 4 tales. You are the Windbringer. The teller would see you presently.
She's the teller. She must be over 100 years old.
Come closer, human. Closer. I cannot see your face. Closer still. Come sit here by me. There you are. You see, my eyes are not what they used to be. Ages ago, I could spot a ladybug crawling up a straw of grass from 15 tree lengths up. Now, I have a hard time seeing my supper. But my ears, balance be praised, my ears, they are as good as ever. I could hear you outside, learning the tales my children tell. You are a good listener and a fast learner.
They were interesting stories, and your people told them well.
That is what we do. The Alatien are the keepers of the tales, and I am their teller, the one who must know all the tales told since the day we came to this world.
How can you do that? How can you remember every story ever told?
The secret is to tell them often and to tell them in your own words, not the words of your ancestors.
Doesn't that mean that the stories change with every generation?
Yes, as all tales must. Change is important. Otherwise, the tales will have no meaning to us. They will just be words, and we do not care about the words. We care about what the words tell us.
How long have your people been telling stories?
Since the beginning, human. Since we came to this world a long, long time ago.
You're not from Earth? From Arcadia?
Not according to our tales. We came on a great wind before the divide, when the earth was one and humans had yet to learn of magic and science. But we were a different people then, and the tales we tell from that time are vague and incomplete. Like myths and legends, the younger Alatien pay little attention to these tales. Sometimes I worry they will be lost with me, these tales, and I am getting old, very old.
I came to you to find answers to some important questions.
Ask, and I will try my best to answer.
Have you heard of an ancient god or dragon that lives beneath the sea?
Once, long ago, when my people lived in harmony with the Merum, there were stories of an old god worshipped by the Merum who resided deep in the darkest depths of the ocean. According to legend, the old god had once brought the Merum into their realm, into the ocean, and he was now sleeping, resting before the journey back.
Back where?
To a great ocean amongst the stars. When the time came, he would gather the Merum and bring them home with him, back to their world, to their ocean. Strangely enough, we have a similar tale. It is said that the great wind that brought us here will someday return to bring us back to a place where we can soar forever on warm winds.
Like heaven.
In a way, perhaps, but without the need for any of us to die. The great wind will just sweep us up and carry us away. Every evening before I go to sleep, I recite this tale to myself. It is a comforting one.
What do you know about the Dryac kin?
The kin are numbered 4, or so our tales tell. 2 in this world, 2 in the other, the mirror world, the white and the blue, the red and the green.
Do you know where they are?
No, the tales never say. The kin are elusive. They keep to themselves. I have never seen one myself, and I doubt any of my kind has. The tales do say that our past and our future are tied to the fate of the kin, but how I would not pretend to know. This is one tale that is yet to be told.
Do you know anything about the Guardian's realm?
This is human business. Would you not know more than I?
Your people are the keepers of the tales. You remember more than humankind has forgotten. Please, I need to hear what you know.
That is very little. The Guardian's realm is home to the Guardian in his tower. No one is permitted within except the Guardian who was, the Guardian who is, and the Guardian who will be. And of course the Dryac kin, who were instrumental in its making.
Have you ever heard of the existence of a hidden entrance to his realm?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have heard tell of such a thing, though I would not know where it is. I gather that one of the kin may be able to tell you.
Thank you. I don't have any more questions.
I am glad I could help you with some answers.
I'm the Windbringer.
I know you are. It's strange to me to hear those words spoken. I did not think they would be in my lifetime. But here you are, standing in front of me as real as the sky is blue.
I'm sorry I have to ask, but what is it that the Windbringer is supposed to do for you?
I did not expect you to walk in here and have all the answers, child. The balance has both blessed you and cursed you, and it has sent you here to do what it wills. The Windbringer is said to be the first sign of the great wind that will take us away from here. For a long time, the Alatien have lost the strength they used to have. Our bones have become weak, and our wings fragile. Where we used to be able to soar for days on strong winds, we are now using our legs to walk rather than fly. Why this is, we do not know.
10 yen.
You know of the reason for this?
I'm just guessing, but it makes sense. Go on.
The tales also say that the Windbringer will unite us with our past and end the age-old strife.
I know. You must make peace and be reunited with the Merum. You share a common ancestry.
I have always thought we did. The tales were too similar, the signs clear. But my people, they will have a difficult time understanding why and how this can be.
If you don't, both the Alatien and the Merum will die out. When war broke out between your people and you were forced to move up into the mountains, it compromised a precarious symbiosis. A substance called tanyan was abundant where the Merum and the Alatien lived in close proximity. It brought fish and heat and light to both your people. But now, living up in the mountains. Your way of life, your diet, your customs and habits, they've all changed. And that's probably the cause of your brittle bones and fragile wings.
Then we must make peace with the Merum and restore the balance between us, so as to strengthen us both and prepare us for the journey that will surely come soon. When our sitting is over, I will speak to my people, and I will elect one representative from the Alatien to meet with the Merum in the place of your choosing to open a dialogue.
I guess it's time for you to talk to your people and for me to make arrangements with the Merum.
Where do you wish for our meeting to take place, Windbringer?
You want me to decide? Well, I know. Send your ambassador down to the ancient caves by the beach. Inside, there are remnants of an old Alatien settlement and a Merum city. It's a good place for your two people to meet, don't you think?
Yes. And could you ask if they would bring their half of the stone?
The stone? You have the other half?
We have held on to it for centuries, knowing that someday it would be of use to the Windbringer.
It will, trust me.
Then we must make haste and arrangements. It is an important day, so let us not waste light. Go and wait for my ambassador in the caves.
It's amazing. This place is so beautiful. And the scent of sea and rock and nest. This scent is of home. This was home a long, long time ago, according to the tales. We lived in peace with the with the Merum back then.
Now you'll be able to live in peace again. And with the Tanyan bringing fish to your doorstep, you'll be able to eat well and restore strength to your bones. Soon you might even be able to soar on the winds for days like you used to do.
I hope you are right, Windbringer. And I hope that the Merum will see the sense in it too. They are coming, are they not?
They said they would. Hush! I hear something.
We are here, Water Stiller, as was promised.
Good. Now, as representatives of your respective peoples, you, the Queen of a Merum city, and you, guard to the Alatien Teller, must fulfill the prophecy and join the two parts of the one stone.
We hope that our peoples may be joined again, Alatien, and that we may live in peace and prosper.
As do we, Merum, and we pledge to do all we can for this to happen. The stone is now whole, Windbringer, and the Alatien and the Merum will once again be as one. You may take it with you.
Thank you. The both of you.
Come now, April, and we will take you to our sleeping god. May his wisdom guide you and lead you down the right path.
I'm so deep now, I really should have been crushed by the pressure, but I feel fine. Wet, but fine. That's a weird rock. It just doesn't look natural. Feels more like a shell than a rock. I don't think it's a rock. I think it's alive. It's soft and spongy. It's some kind of organic sensor. Hello? Is anybody in there? Spooky. Well, I guess it's an invitation of sorts. It's a large shell. I wonder how deep it goes and what it contains. There's air in here, and it's dry. I swear I'm never taking a bath again. That doesn't look like a natural protrusion. It's too big and round.
I know you. Do not be afraid. I know what you are.
You do?
Yes. Yes. What would you hear? I do not like to be disturbed. I wish to be left alone. I wish to rest until the day of ascension.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but I need some answers.
Everyone needs answers. Everyone has questions. I am not the oracle. I cannot answer all your questions.
I don't expect you to answer all of them, but I was hoping for an answer to at least some of them.
Then ask and be gone.
I'm looking for a jewel called the Dragon's Eye.
Yes. I have one such jewel.
I guess that's it.
Take it.
Are you sure?
Take it. It is yours now. It is part of your destiny.
Okay. Tell me if it hurts. What is the day of Ascension?
The day when the kin return home. When my siblings come to me, and we rise toward the stars for our journey back to our cradle. This is the day of ascension.
So you're going back to wherever it is you came from?
We will, eventually, when everything is ready.
When what's ready?
I will not answer that question. It is not necessary for you to know.
I need to know where I can find the gateway to the Guardian's realm.
So you come to me.
They told me, well, they as in the few people who could tell me anything at all, they told me that if anyone would know, it'd be you.
I know. When the earth was divided, there was a doorway left open where the tower was built.
But it's moved, hasn't it? That spot. When Stark and Arcadia were created, that spot moved somewhere else.
Into the sky. Amongst the stars.
But where?
I knew you were coming. Your journey has not been a quiet one. Even down here, I could hear you. I speak with the Dark People. They are my messengers. They have prepared a map for you with the entrance you are looking for.
You knew I was coming and why? Then, okay, I know this is probably a futile question, but why didn't you send the Dark People to me earlier? You could have saved me a lot of time and hard work.
You are afraid of time and hard work.
No, but it's the principle of it, isn't it?
No, it is not. You had prophecies to fulfill. You had a purpose. Bringing my children together in preparation. This was important. And for that, I thank you.
What am I?
What do you mean?
You said you know what I am. What am I?
You do not know. Then it is not I who should teach you about your heritage. You must make this discovery on your own.
Listen, I'm tired. I'm wet. I'm at the bottom of the sea, and I'm breathing with the help of a polyp stuck in my esophagus. So just cut the Buddhist bullshit about a journey of self-discovery and answer my question. Please?
Your question has already been answered. That is all I will tell you. Your journey began with an answer. It is only now that you know the question.
That's so not helpful, but thank you.
Now, I wish to sleep.
You said something about a map?
The Dark People have it. They will meet you. I will bring you to them.
What, now?
Yes. Hold on.
The ship is enshrouded in a thick fog, very mystic-like. I can't see the face, but I think it's a man. A tall man wearing a dark cloak. He's one of the dark people, whatever they are. Thanks for taking me on board.
Who are you?
Well, I thought you... I mean, didn't the old dragon... Well, I'm April Ryan, from Stark, and I guess you're a dark person.
But who are you?
I'm just a student, not anybody special.
You are special. Who are you?
I'm not. I'm just... I'm the Windbringer. I'm the Water Stiller. I'm April Bondu Mbata of the Banda and the Venar Kangang La. I'm a shifter. I will someday become the 13th Guardian, the protector of the balance. And I'm April Ryan. This is who I am.
Yes, that is who you are. And you are a wave.
Why am I, a wave?
You have a purpose. You play an important part in the cosmos. A wave is someone who propels people and events toward change, towards the future.
And that's what I do?
You are a wave. There are ripples from your passing, and they spread wide and far. Those ripples will never die down. The worlds will be changed by your journey.
You're telling me that everything I do affects the universe?
You cannot escape it. You are a wave.
The ancient dragon, the blue of the Drake kin, told me you had a map for me.
A map of stars, yes. It was made for you in our library, and given to me to hold. It is yours now. Keep it well. It is the only one.
I'm looking for an ancient stone given to you by the Sentinel, the Fathers.
You came for the stone. Of course we have it with us. Our ship would not have been chosen to meet you were it not for the stone we carry with us.
Everybody's just waiting around for me to show up, so that they can give me stuff. Who knew adventuring was going to be this easy?
It will not always be so easy. Of that I can assure you. But here is our stone. We entrust it to you, as we were instructed to do when the Fathers first entrusted it to us.
Can this ship take me back to Marcuria? I mean, would you mind?
We will bring you to Marcuria henceforth. It will take the night, but we will be there at first light.
That's fine. Thanks a lot.
You are free to rest here, to sleep, while we travel. The flames will keep you warm, but do not move too far away. My brothers are not friendly with outsiders. They do not take kindly to intrusion.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm staying right here.
Good. Sleep. Did you sleep?
Very comfortably, thanks. Where are we?
In the Mercuria harbor.
But there are barely any ships here.
I do not know why. We must leave you here. We have other business. Carry your wave into the future, April.
Whatever that means, I'll try. Where did all the ships go? They're gone. This can't be a good sign. I mean, duh. The city looks strangely quiet and deserted. And the sky, those are not ordinary clouds. They look more like smoke. What's going on here?